Dairy development. A comprehensive program for supporting dairy farmers will be formulated. Efforts are already on to control foot and mouth disease. India is the world's largest milk producer with India is the world's largest milk producer, but with low productivity of milch animals. The program will be built on the success of existing schemes such as Rashtriya Gokul Mission, National Livestock Mission, and infrastructure development funds for dairy processing and animal husbandry.
Dear friends, here are some expectations for the dairy industry from FY25 final budget. The total budget allocation for FY24 was first revised from 4,327 crores to 3,913 crores in the interim budget FY25, as the total expenditure till December 2023 was 45% of the total budget as per a report. Looking at the size of the industry and its significant contribution to the GDP at around 5%, the allocation looks very little. If India needs to become global leader in exports, then this budget allocation has to be increased to support not only the dairy infrastructure, but quality infrastructure, traceability, identity preservation, and cold chain too.
कहते हैं कि सदाबहार फील्ड है. आज इंडिया में इंडस्ट्री की बात करें, आउट ऑफ द टोटल 60 लाख करोड़ फूड इंडस्ट्री विच इज द बिगेस्ट कैटेगरी, डेयरी इज अराउंड 14-15 लाख करोड़ के है.
India's dairy industry is at a crossroads. With the government's budget for combating foot and mouth disease FMD and brucellosis increasing from 2,349 crores to 2,465 crores, the commitment is clear. But as vaccination programs expand, meticulous traceability is crucial. A lapse now could lead to a crisis in 3 to 5 years. The Indian dairy sector is poised for significant growth, necessitating substantial investment to the tune of 150,000 crores over the next 5 to 7 years. To support this expansion, increasing the dairy infrastructure fund is crucial. Recently, applications were invited again under Kisan Sampada scheme to bolster this growth, attracting a large number of applications from both established dairy businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs. However, these applications remain unprocessed and the final selection for support under the scheme is still pending. It is imperative that the government promptly finalizes the necessary budget for this scheme to ensure the continued growth and development of the dairy industry. A timely decision today will pave the way for a prosperous future in India's dairy sector.
7-8 years maximum investment in India is going to happen in the dairy industry. As per my estimate, हमारा जो 12 करोड़ लीटर दूध अभी ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में आता है, अगले 7 साल में ये 24 करोड़ लीटर हो जाएगा. एंड 1 लाख लीटर के ऊपर तकरीबन 50 करोड़ की इन्वेस्टमेंट होती है. सो अराउंड 60,000 करोड़ विल बी इन्वेस्टेड इन डेयरी प्रोसेसिंग इक्विपमेंट्स. Another 40,000 crore will be invested in backward integration, जो मिल्किंग मशीन है, जो बल्क मिल्क कूलर है, जो कैश वगैरह है. And another 60,000 crore in new animal. तो तकरीबन 1,60,000 crore investment next 7 years is going to come, and which is going to generate around 72 lakhs opportunity, job opportunity. इसमें से 60 लाख रूरल इंडिया में और अराउंड 12 लाख अर्बन इंडिया में, और उसमें से तकरीबन 25 से 30% विल बी द प्रोफेशनल्स लाइक वेटरनरी, डेयरी टेक्नोलॉजिस्ट, माइक्रोबायोलॉजिस्ट, एआई वाले, कंप्यूटर वाले. दीज आर द अपॉर्चुनिटीज.
Budget for Rashtriya Gokul Mission has been set at rupees 700 crores this year. The program of sex-sorted semen and embryo transfer for indigenous breed at high productivity needs to be focused and tracked. There is always a risk of very low conception rate and the costs are very high. The budget may be increased to support R&D and startups for manufacturing ET hardware, media and consumables. All technologies must be for ensuring birth of female cattle only, so as to check the future menace of male progenies. Beyond disease control, there is a growing challenge, the population of unproductive, sick and male cattle. These animals, while culturally significant, strain both environmental resources and farmers' finances. With an estimated 200 million such cattle, maintaining them costs a staggering rupees 219,000 crores annually at rupees 30 per head per day. This burden demands urgent attention. In contrast, buffalo meat exports outperform dairy exports by 13 times. Tapping into this potential for cattle requires stringent norms and revised policies for scientific cattle management. Climate is the topmost reason for a serious meta crisis at global level. There is an urgent need for setting up a climate fund. This must be established to develop climate-resistant breed as well as fodder varieties. In order to control methane emissions from the animals, farmer must get methane blocker subsidies through DBT route. The government may also consider setting up gobar gas FPO on the lines of fodder FPOs under this fund. AMR or antibiotic medicine residue is a very big issue. Around 1.2% of Indian milk is antibiotic positive. The government may also look at releasing subsidies for the use of Ayurvedic and homeopathic medicines. This may be done under DBT to avoid misuse of funds. At the end, the government must also consider a national milk security buffer stocks for SMP. Currently, the dairy industry is struggling with the problem of plenty. The global scenario is also not conducive for Indian exports, even with moderate subsidies of rupees 30 to 50 per kgs. This buffer stock at a moderate level of 100 to 150,000 metric ton will offload the burden from the industry, and the upcoming flush will be utilized for making newer stocks. The government may plan subsidies for warehousing, domestic and sea freight for exports, and interest subvention for the huge stocks lying idle with the cooperative and the private sector. Unless this excess stock is cleared, it will be very difficult for the farmers to get better rates in coming winter times without state-level subsidies like the one announced at Maharashtra recently. Balancing cultural values associated with dairy business with economic and environmental realities is essential. It's time for strategic action to secure the future of India's dairy industry and its farmers. Join us as we explore the path to a sustainable, prosperous dairy industry. The future depends on the steps we take today. Let's make all our cows and dairy farmers happy.